What's going on, guys? Seishiro here, back with another Blue Lock Project World Champion video. Be a little quick one just to get out for the rest of this week, because just the game now just moving a lot faster. But over here, we got Nagi as expected. I talked about last video. I kind of predicted this, right? Just looking at over at the timeline that we're in, it kind of just natural instinct, just expected, right? Oh, especially with the last month in April. We got a nice month in general with Friday, so every Friday just is to be nice, consistent weekly and stuff. I think it should be 2 more drops or 3 more. Sorry about that. And again, all my advice is right now the sync is gonna come by the end of this month or start next month. I mean June. And again, they haven't revealed the exact date, but they said in sometime in June they're gonna make some steps towards that synchronization. So realistically, everything that you see right here, it's not usable. If we were to time travel 10 months into the future, which is where the Japanese version is currently at, none of these guys would be usable. So just keep that in mind. Especially 3 stars. 3 stars, being realistic, are not good. Obviously, in the meantime, they feel amazing. They're the strongest cards right now, but. Again, just being realistic. Again, they have some investment exchanges. Some apparently you can exchange at 3 stars. I'm assuming probably releasing 6 October 2025. That's what I predicted. Something like October 2025 and newer, like any of those newer releases, which was better yet. Like last 6 months, any new releases since then can some way go into this system. But other than that, I don't expect them to be too nice with that system. So your best bet is just to save gems, honestly, and just and at that point, just Japanese version, just standard. Wait for good banners. Wait for banners that guarantee what you pick up. There's a lot of stuff there, and yeah. So going into the training, Tentacle still has not changed. I'm not going to game at all. Honestly, I don't think we do that anymore. But Tentacle hasn't changed at all. It won't change for another week, I'm pretty sure. So it's been training Tentacle. It's been the same story. So yeah, overall, just pretty solid. Maybe some changes over here. This Nagi, because this Nagi Hero is pretty close. Maybe that, but other than that, yeah, nothing has changed for Tentacle. It's been the same for nearly 3 weeks, I think, at this point. So yeah. Then we got Kick. Kick, always the biggest thing is Nagi, 4-star Nagi. He's the first 4 stars, and he has really high numbers when you train with him at level 100 or higher, right? So there we go. And even though he has the most, again, the way I rank these is the amount of percentage to give from the links. So if we're realistic, Sagi still gives more. Granted, they all have stuff with Nagi though. To be fair though, but all these guys still contribute more points than Nagi at this moment, but obviously soon you can expect to climb with the rankings. Sai is kicked out, but when Toma and Sai are honestly pretty close, especially if you have level 150 Sai, which they gave out 1 for free, they gave out some other for pieces free. He's been around since January 1st, right? So some of y'all might have him maxed out, so it's totally fine using him there. Especially because again, he still has good links with everyone besides Nagi himself, right? The new EX card release, this EX card should be considerably stronger than the Sai EX card, because the Sai EX card doesn't have too much training links anymore with these people, not as much. It did get buffed to have its main tile up to 55x instead of 42x, which was a week ago. But again, this thing has the egoist tiles, and the egoist tiles, 110%, just somehow scale to be way stronger than any standard multiplier. These percentage tiles tend to be stronger. So yeah, there's that. So there's Kick, and nothing too crazy over here. Then we got Speed. Speed did get 2 new things with Zantetsu and this Hiori Reo. And the EX over here got buffed to 55x, so it's probably worth trying out in new training. Just because 55x at this moment is the highest thing. There's the star tile that these URs have, but I think the EX should be still on a similar level. Star tiles are, I guess, not as strong as the egoist tiles that are all we're used to right now. Even though Zantetsu is obviously on the lineup, as you can see, he doesn't contribute that much compared to Ren, and mainly because Ren just has the UR and his SSR. He has that. Sendo links up both everything. TSUGIRI again, he has this SSR right there. Borrow again links up low. He's been around for a bit. So Zantetsu, the same thing with UR. Honestly, the UR does not have the greatest links. It does not have the greatest links that like this UR did, where it just had crazy 900% constants. This one doesn't have as much. I think it literally only has 200% and 400% constants with everything. That's literally it. I mean, it's enough to edge out this one, but it just because its raw numbers is still stronger. But honestly, I think a diff fan of this card still has overall more percentage. Like if he had this card level 100, like it's still worth using. Again, this card's been around since January, so obviously you can expect that to rise in the next updates as we get more URs in general. Well, I mean, for the sync, so it's a little mid for the speed side, but on the physical side, completely different story. It has so much more percentage bonuses with all these things. So yeah, on the physical side, it's definitely a lot stronger. And this ES card again, same thing, got buffed. We got 55x multiplier, so it's definitely worth trying out. Haven't done that yet. Sendo now works well. Reo, all these guys all work well. Rin's on the lower end, but he's still fine. And yeah, and it's nice that physical had like this SSR still survive. This is one of the very first SSRs that had the limit break, released back in October of 2025, I believe. So it's nice to see that this thing's alive. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, this UR is absolutely cracked for physical, no doubt. And physical is about to get more buffs soon, so yeah, there's that. And we go on next one. Tensions didn't change at all. Tensions did not change at all. This is still the same as it was before. Kyora's just there. He's hanging around with him and IQ. Honestly, all three of these guys, Kyora, IQ, and Reo, they're all pretty similar. Again, that's it for the mention, but you know, the low 4th slot, like, you can have those buffed players, these two buff things. You can have them all if you really need the stats, because it could give upwards to 1 trillion, right? But for most cases, probably it's worth it, especially because in this case, like, you're giving away your Asagi, and also when you have really high levels, like that 1 trillion actually doesn't help too much, right? When you're already averaging probably a handful of 5 trillion already in numbers, but something to think about if you don't have 2 good levels on these things, right? And that'll be it. We got this team. This team, as of right now, is actually bugged for some reason. In the news announcement, there's a news announcement that talks about physical got buffs with Hiori, with Reo, and all the ES cards too. They got some buffs. And in that same one with Reo and Hiori, it mentions that these teams got new skills, but for some reason they're just not in. So this team had 7 skills mentioned in that post, just not in the game as of right now where I'm recording this. So when you go in game, it's gonna say 12 match skills activated instead of the expected 19, and yeah, the team is gonna be worse. So if that gets fixed, like, this should be the best team, like, no doubt. And look at this, you got 4-star, you got 4-star, you got 4-star, you got 4-star, and again, this guy got buffed and he's actually really freaking strong. So yeah, so overall, really good team. Obviously, it's just the fan favorite characters, just all the main characters of Blue Lock, right? And again, in the same post, Hiori is mentioned. It says 6 skills were added. So when you go into the game, this thing is only gonna have 10 skills. Not strong. You don't even have a single 4-star. So I don't think it's gonna apply to most people, but I mean, it's a team that you can run if you really need to, right? But again, as of right now, they're actually straight up just missing skills. These match skills just straight up just don't exist. I do not know why. Cannot tell you why. I'm pretty sure both Nagi and Zantetsu just have rainbow shooting skills, so that's interesting. And yeah, that'll be it. Check out these older teams if you really need them. This team is still pretty good right down here. But yeah, but you definitely want to look at this team. This team is probably the one that you want to work towards. So let's talk about the timeline. Again, like I talked about last video. That's why I did it. I mean, it's kind of simple. So I expect next week to be the same thing. It's gonna be this Chigiri and this UR Shidou And Hiori. So attention to physical. I'm gonna get a lot of buffs right there. Maybe they want to sneak in this Sai. That's possible. Maybe they do want to do that, but I think I'm leaning towards it'll just be these two. Maybe Sai, but because I guess it kind of lines up with the challenges, getting a whole bunch of stuff. But most of the time they like to. Cause this basically would have been the June month of Japan, so they kind of want to keep that within a week, right? Then this will be the July month for Japan, and that'll be the next section that will work towards the end. So yeah, right now it's put the Jun Chigiri and this UR, and Shun Kunigami will come naturally to him. And he's actually really good for physical. But again, if the sync is gonna come towards the actual June 1st or in sometime in June, then I mean he's not gonna be as effective just being a 3-star, sadly. The thing about him being limited, they always buff him. They always like to buff anything that you see here limited. They always like to bring it back after a year. They always like to buff it, you know. It's just something that the Japan version just always likes to do for some reason. They always just like to just keep buffing things. Granted, they buff it, but like it's not like it's amazing. It's usable. If you have it at max level, it's usable. It's a good substitute, right? I guess at least it's reliable. It's not bad, but again, it's not great, right? Don't expect it to be like one of your main comps, or be better than one of the current cards. The newest current cards, level 100 will always be stronger. And yeah, again, just talk more about flow trading again. If we somehow get to this point before we synchronize, like maybe you want to check out some investment in any one of these or the UREXs. This UREX Ren or UREX Sai. But on that, basically none of these are too good. None of the like maybe the advisors I have highlighted over here. Maybe them, but yeah, other than that, nothing too great over here. But we'll see how this hand synchronization. Hopefully it's good. And that will just be the end of the video, guys. Quick one, just to let out other information for y'all. This is C Square, and peace out.